A very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. Here we are back with our NTA UGC Net Paper 1 preparation for 2022 as well as 2023 batch. And here we are live with our next session, that is on teaching aptitude. As you all are aware that we have started with our new batches, that is October 2022 batch. And in this new batches we are starting with basics. So we have taken the first unit, that is teaching aptitude, where we have conducted some lectures on teaching aptitude, and today's lecture will be conducting on Bloom's taxonomy and domains of teaching in detail. Before we go ahead, an important announcement: for a limited period of time we have a Diwali offer going on. That is a special offer wherein we have 30% off on all NTA UGC net subscriptions, which you can enroll for and take the opportunity. You can even download this with the help of Global Online app, or you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. Now, in case if you want to know exactly what is the course about, so it is paper 1 complete course, wherein we have full syllabus notes, full syllabus video lectures, daily live lectures, recorded lectures, as well as 60 plus mock test, last 10-year question papers with answer key, and 2000 plus MCQs in PDF format. This is all available in English as well as in Hindi. The content is available in English as well as in Hindi, and this is basically for all the new batches which have started from October 2022. Still, in case if you have any concerns, any doubt or query, you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. The fees for paper 1 is 4,000. If you are looking for something with related to paper 2, we do have paper 2 complete video lectures, syllabus notes, test series, previous year question papers, that is PDF form with the answer key, a study plan. And in case if you are going for exclusive paper 2, you will be getting paper 1 free. You can avail paper 1 free. The fees for paper 2 is 8,000 rupees. Here also, if you have any concerns, any doubts, you can get in touch with us on the given WhatsApp number. The paper 2 which we have, the content for paper 2 is for the following subjects. You can see the subjects on the screen. How to go for an app? So all those Android users, you can go on Google Play Store, download the Global Online app. This is how the interface you will look at. You need to register yourself with the mobile number. Once you have registered yourself, you open up the interface, and after payment of fees, this is how you will get an access with all the contents, where we have content with respect to as per your unit, and you also have various video lectures. You have syllabus, mock test, PDF, okay, previous year question papers. Scholarships test is nothing but evaluation test. So after every class you can go on the app, you can see the evaluation test, which will help you to make sure that how much amount of content you have understood and what practice do you need else, as per the given teachings or as per the syllabus. Students who are using iOS can download the app, that is My Institute app. Once you download the app, it will be asking you for organization code, which is IDBST. Once you registered yourself, you will be able to see the same interface which I have showed you earlier. So only a small change is the app, where you have to download My Institute app. Fine. Now, yes, coming to the topic, we have already discussed, every time we keep on discussing the syllabus, but today we have completed teaching learners characteristics, concept of teaching aptitude, learner characteristics, and factors affecting teaching. This all we have done. In revision lectures also, we will be repeating. Any student who has missed the class or who has missed the lecture, so in the revision class this will keep on going on. Now let's start the session for the day. As you all know that we have two topics to do today. One is Bloom's taxonomy and one is your domains of teaching. So let's start with Bloom taxonomy first, and then we will come to domains of teaching. So now when we are basically talking about Bloom's taxonomy, here we can see different type of questions are coming. Okay, so first I'll give you an overview, and then we can try to understand the questions. What are the questions which can be expected from this particular topic or from this particular content? So let's start now. So first of all, in 1956, Benjamin Bloom, provided a guide that can be used to create objectives and assessment. So Bloom's taxonomy has various levels of thinking. So first of all, you can get various level, that is high order or low order thinking. So how this Bloom's taxonomy is basically, what is the pyramid or the levels? It starts with remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating, wherein these levels are divided into, or this taxonomy is divided into two parts, that is lower order skills and higher order skills. So when we talk about lower order skills, remembering, understanding, applying are a part of what? Are a part of lower order skills, whereas analyzing, evaluating and creating are the part of higher order skills. So you can get a question on higher order and lower order, which can be classified as higher order or which can be classified as lower order. Now let's understand all these levels very well, because nowadays it has been seen that question comes from a deep concept rather than just giving the levels or just identifying who has given this taxonomy. So let's understand the levels. So first is remembering. So when we talk about remembering, what does it indicate? It indicates recalling or recognizing the information and ideas. When we talk about the level of understanding, it indicates understanding, interpreting, summarizing the ideas into own words. So understanding, it means understanding with the help of own way, or you can say in own terms. Applying, where it provides opportunity to use ideas, theories, problem solving techniques and accordingly apply them. It means application based, apply them to the new situation or apply them to the new scenario. So these are all your lower order skills. Now going with your higher order skills, analyzing. Now analyzing itself, it means a deep understanding with respect to examining the concept, the idea, or breaking down into basic parts, breaking them down into smaller parts or basic parts. Evaluating, where you use certain benchmarks or certain standards and criteria to support the opinions as well as views. And then comes your creating, that is nothing but assembling the parts of knowledge in order to go for a creative thinking or problem analytics or problem solving. So this is how the level of Bloom's taxonomy, or you can say levels of thinking, goes, or it is indicated. So as I told you about what exactly Bloom's taxonomy questions can be. So Bloom's taxonomy question can be based on these particular criteria, either the levels, or either you can talk about the skills, either you can talk about what exactly the levels indicate. So in education, please try to understand these particular framework. Now how it is applicable as a whole. So in education, this particular framework, which is called as Bloom's taxonomy, is applied by the teaching fraternity or the faculty members in order to go with any level of instructions. I mean to say, starting from a lower level up to the college instruction level. So these particular concepts can be used at any level at any particular point of time, and that's how Bloom's taxonomy is basically used in order to define or in order to distinguish different levels of cognition. Now cognition is nothing but the cognitive ability, that is thinking, learning, understanding. So you can get such questions, what are the uses or in what framework is Bloom's taxonomy used. So Bloom's taxonomy is used in order to define, in order to distinguish different human cognitive, that is the ability. Now what are these cognitives? This can be in the form of thinking, it can be in the form of learning, it can be in the form of understanding. Now you may have another in the form of assertion and reasoning also. You may get a question like, for example, what is Bloom's taxonomy used for? So basically Bloom's taxonomy, I mean to say the whole concept, it provides a common platform, you can say, or language, you can say, for the teachers, for the faculty members to discuss and to exchange. So it is, now when I am talking about teachers, definitely between a teacher and a student or between a teacher and a learner. It is used for learning and assessing various methods with various cognitive levels. So remember one thing very well. So when we talk about assertion and reasoning questions, in assertion and reasoning questions, this is basically talking about what? It is basically talking about your concept for understanding level, your concept with respect to what? Your concept with respect to your levels of cognitive levels, which are basically creating what? Which are basically creating the definition, or which are basically differentiating the learning levels. And that's how is the importance of what? It is importance of Bloom's taxonomy. So this is how Bloom's taxonomy is useful, or it is used. I hope it is very clear now, everyone. If you want me to summarize once again, we have started with Bloom's taxonomy. We have understood various levels, how these levels are important. That's what we have understood. Okay, the orders, the skills, that is lower level or higher level, the skills, how they are divided, and how basically this particular taxonomy, that is Bloom's taxonomy, is used by the teachers, or it is used in order to understand human cognitive. That's what we have studied over here. Now, this taxonomy, I have just given a second part of a diagram just to keep in mind, some important terms. So this Bloom's taxonomy, which has been revised in 2001. So I have given you that is the old one and the new one, the difference between old and new, which has been converted into what? Which has been converted into that is a synthesis, which is turned into creation level, and evaluation level, which has occupied the next set of level. So you have to remember the difference also. Maybe at times they can give you the difference, they can ask you the difference between the old and the new, what exactly is different. So you need to remember this part of the diagram also. Now yes, in order to easily understand, we have the second part of diagram, where here I have given just a small statement with respect to what? With respect to the levels. So when we talk about remembering, it is recalling. So you just have to keep the key terms in mind. It will help you to, in the case of match the following, or in the case of any important key term, it will help you to understand the levels. So when I'm talking about remembering, as I said, recalling, understanding, yes, it is grasping the meaning in the own terms. Applying, that is using the information. Analyzing, to identify the relationship, that is in detail. Evaluating, that is to assess or examine the information and to make the judgments. And creating, that is to use the information in order to create something new. And that's how the Bloom's taxonomy is understood. Now it is also seen that there are certain verb form, command verbs. So this I have made you learn as last cycle also, but there can be certain questions on the terms also. So when we talk about knowledge, when we talk about understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, or creation or creating, there are some there are command verbs. So you can identify the help of command verbs. Even this can be a part of your match the following. So when we talk about knowledge, it is defining, identifying, describing, recognizing, explaining, telling, reciting, that is recalling, okay, memorizing, illustrating, or quoting. So these are all command verbs which are used in order to understand the level of knowledge. Whereas when we talk about understanding, it is summarizing, interpretation, classification, comparison, contrasting, inferring, relating, extract, or paraphrase, or cite. So this is just to understand what is the understanding level, or how you can how you can put it or define it in your own terms. Coming towards applying, it talks about solving. That is, now applying, it means applying the concept in your day-to-day how to apply the concept in your day-to-day ways. So it in the form of either it is solving, either it is changing, relating, complete, use, sketch, teach, articulate. It means describe in your own words, discover, or transfer. Again we have analyzing, that is in order to understand it in detail, contrast, connect, relate, devise, correlate, illustrate, distill, conclude, categorize, or take apart. So this tells you about what? In detail analysis. Evaluate, that is criticize, reframe, judge, defend, appraise, value, prioritize, plan, grade or reframe. Now see, please understand, nowadays you may definitely get questions on this command verb. So you need to, I'm not telling that you have to go for a rote learning, but you need to understand that which level can be expressed with which form of verb. Coming last to is creating, that is nothing but designing, modifying, role playing, developing, rewriting, pivot, modify, collaborate or invent, or you can also call it as write. So these are the various ways in which you can describe your levels. Now here we have the term is pivot. Pivot is nothing but it is a central point. Okay, you can also to call it as a mechanism, or you can also call it as a way or a central point through which you can describe the level of thinking. I hope this is very clear now. Okay, so this is how the various levels. So all those who have been joined late, so let me tell you that we started with Bloom's taxonomy. We understood what is entirely Bloom's taxonomy, dividing it into various levels, understanding each level, understanding them with the help of keywords, knowing what are the various command verbs which can be used to identify various levels. Now, and how does it differentiate from the old the concept of old taxonomy with the new taxonomy. So we have understood the Bloom's taxonomy part very well. Now let's move, next part is the various domains. So basically we have three domains, that is we have affective domains, cognitive domain and psychomotor domain. So now in this domains also, earlier we used to get little bit, when this concept was newly introduced, we used to get simple set of questions, but now a detailed analysis of these questions are done and the questions are given in detail. So let's understand in detail how can you go for this particular set of questions and what are the topic about. So if you see, there are three levels, that is cognitive, which is based on mental ability, affective, that is based on feelings and emotions, and psychomotor, that is based on kinesthetic. So cognitive level, which is described in the form of creation, evaluation, analyzing, applying, understanding and remembering. Sorry. Affective, which is characterizing, organizing, valuing, responding and receiving. Psychomotor, that is naturalization, articulation, precision, manipulation and imitation. But we are going to do this levels one by one in detail. So starting with first is your cognitive domain. Okay, now this is important points, and again here any type of questions, either you can get a statement question, either you can get a quote question, either you can get an assertion or reasoning, or maybe at times the match the following also. So let's understand this each and every aspect of domain in detail. Let's see exactly what it is speaking about. So now when we talk about cognitive domain, first of all, what does cognitive indicates? The word cognitive indicates that development of intellectual capability. Now when I talked about, or when I speak about intellectual capability, that is, it is thinking, or it is basically about knowledge. Okay, Suchi, yes, good morning. We have started this new topic now, so you can join us with this new topic. So basically we are talking about what? Cognitive domain. So this domain, okay, basically is indicating what? A development, or development of what? Development of intellectual capability. So it means from which point of or from which level. So it is basically from thinking, or or basically from knowledge. So important concepts. Now try to little bit understand in detail, okay, what exactly this domain is about. It is about thinking and knowledge. It is the core learning domain. It means if you are taking care of learning, the core domain in that, the role is played by what? The role is played by cognitive. The other domains, yes, we do have other domains, that is affective also and psychomotor also. Now let's understand the 6 levels or the functions of cognitive domain. So one by one, let's go through it. So when we talk about knowledge, just now we did, the knowledge is basically about what? It is about recalling. Recalling with what? Recalling either the information or recalling the content. When we talk about comprehension, it is basically the ability to grasp the meaning of a material, that is whatever material, resources, source which is provided, how do you comprehend, how do you know what type of ability you have to grasp it. That's been developed with the help of this particular level or this particular function. Application, that it converts abstract knowledge into practice, into how effectively can you apply the knowledge which you have secured into practice. That is in the form of application. Analysis, it is nothing but breaking down a communication into various parts in such a manner that relationship of ideas is understood better. So this is now see here, it is understood better. Now when we are talking about understanding, it means we are talking about what? Intellectual capability. So intellectual capability, what type of intellectual capability do you have or your students have, so that you can break up the concept and you can present it in front of your students. So that now here even teacher plays an important role with her teaching style, what teaching style the teacher can exhibit in order to make it understand, or what type of what type of intellectual capability a student has in order to grasp it. Then we have next is synthesis. So basically it is combining the constituent parts to make it a whole, that is to combine it in the form of what? It is the antonym of analysis. So basically it is just opposite to what? Analysis. So in analysis we are breaking it down, in synthesis we are combining it to get an actual meaning or in order to develop a proper intellectual capability. And the last comes as your assessment or your evaluation, which involves judgment that which is made basically for value of methods and material with a specific goal or with a specific purpose, that what exactly you wanted to achieve and what have you achieved from this entire process, and that's what it talks about. So this is all basically about what? It is all basically about cognitive domain. That is your first domain, core learning domain out of 3. So first we have done cognitive. Okay, coming next is our affective domain. So affective domain, as I said, it is dealing with attitude, it deals with level of motivation, it deals with willingness to participate, that is the desire, you can say. Now if you remember, we have one question in previous year question paper, what does a teacher has to, how does the teacher needs to ensure that or what type of assistance a teacher need to give to the student or motivation. So teacher need to create an interest about the teaching in the student, but at the same time it means the interest is created only when the child is willing to participate, but teacher has to motivate a child or encourage a child to show that or to bring that interest level. Valuing what has been learned, ultimately incorporating the values of discipline into the way of life, that is involving your social or moral development. It asks for students' better participation, and it includes the following. So when we talk about receiving, it is willingness to listen. To receive, it means whatever is conveyed, whatever information or facts are being delivered by the teacher, the student needs to have the willingness to listen. At the same time, student needs to respond. It means willingness to participate, to interact. Valuing, willingness to be involved. Now see, please try to understand this. Many times students take the wrong understanding of this concept valuing. So here to value, it means to be involved. That is participate, but with an involvement, so that you can develop, you can definitely progress. Organizing, willingness to be an advocate of an idea. So to ensure that to work out on the idea. And characterization, that is willingness to change one's behavior or way of life, and that can happen with the help of what? That can happen with the help of teaching learning process. So hence these affective domain, as we have studied over here, it deals with attitude, motivation, willingness to participate, but at the same time it has to have a response of willingness to listen, to participate, to be involved, to change one's behavior if it is not in a right manner. So this is how the affective domain is useful. Coming next to your psychomotor domain. So the psychomotor domain, as we know, that it is basically kinesthetic, that is involvement of or acquisition of technical skills, where you have different level of objectives. So starting with imitation, where you demonstrate a skill by a skilled person and learner tries to follow the same. So maybe like for example in the teaching learning process, the observation, the skills of solving or learning the problem solving ability. So this is demonstrated with the help of imitation. It is demonstrated, or a skill is being demonstrated with the help of a skilled person. Manipulation, a learner tries to experiment with various aspects of manipulating machinery or equipments, that is use of it. Precision, it is accuracy in various acts with the help of what? With the help of practice, that is proficiency with practice. Articulation, a desired level of efficiency and effectiveness. Now please try to understand, there are two levels, either efficiency where there are defects are reduced day by day with practice, and effectiveness at perfection day by day with the help of practice. And naturalization, it's basically a skill to adapt, to modify, to design new techniques, methods or procedure according to the situation. So this naturalization is based on what? It is based on a specific situation. Is it clear? So these are the basic three levels we can talk about domain. Now again here also, as I said, definitely now you may not get a simple question what are the three levels. The level has went beyond that. So that's the reason internally what can be the levels, or I'm extremely sorry, internally what can be the levels and what are the different levels with these that we have studied. But at the end maybe you may get a question based on importance, or why domains of teaching are important, or what is basically it is used for. So try to understand this now. Here again a assertion or a reasoning question can come with this form. So when we talk about various domains, it is to develop, maybe these are the various methods. So you can use cognitive, you can use affective, or you can use psychomotor. They are the methods which try to bring professional development in the process of teaching and learning. Okay, so where the teacher, that is the teacher involves the learners with a proper engagement. So that's the reason various domains are useful in order to describe the complexity. Now when I'm saying describing, it means show the reality, and then make them realize that okay, this is the picture and how to work for this, how to try to resolve this complexity with the help of various ways. And that's how these domains are important for. These are the three important domains which are a part of learning, domains of learning. Okay, I hope this is very clear. So we have understood in detail, we have studied what is Bloom's taxonomy. Now we studied in detail what is domains, various domains, how these domains are important with various levels. And now you have to understand that how these levels can form various questions. So very importantly we have done, like for example, again I'll just repeat one example. Here I said many students, I'm talking about affective domain, students get confused over here. Valuing means what? Either respecting, it is not about respect to a teacher, or it is not about giving a worth. It is basically your involvement in the teaching learning process. So whatever efforts your teacher is taking, how much efforts, both sides, I mean to say what efforts the teacher is taking, does the teacher is valuing the time of the learners, at the same time how much efforts the learner is taking in order to get involved in this process of teaching learning, and how much learning is happening. So it is a two-way process. Okay, now yes, now here we have Gagne's taxonomy of learning also. So now we are done, as we are doing learning only, we have studied Bloom's taxonomy based on learning. We have studied domains of learning. So there is one more concept of which is brought by Gagne, that is 5 types of learning. So wherein we have intellectual learning, that is in the form of intellectual skills, cognitive strategy, okay, we have verbal information, we have attitude, and we have motor skills. So what I'll do is I'll come back to this particular diagram. First I'll explain you the concept, and then I'll come back to the diagram, because the diagram is like it's a mapping. So first we'll understand the concept very well, and then we will come to the diagrammatic presentation. So when we talk about this instructional objectives, it falls under the following categories, that is intellectual skills. So when we talk about intellectual skills, no doubt they are the crucial in order to deal with the environment of teaching learning, and they include the concept of learning, rule learning and problem solving. So this basically, when we talk about intellectual, we right now we have studied very well intellectual. It means it deals with the concepts with respect to what? With respect to learning, rule learning and problem solving. Now what is this rule learning? Rule learning is basically it is mechanism learning, that is computerized learning is a type of what? It's a rule learning, wherein you have a process to be followed, like a logic. Whatever type of learning you do, that has to be that is based on a specific rule. So when I say rule, it means it has a specific system, it has a specific process, it has a specific attribute, and that leads to what? It leads to a logic. So you're not doing learning just based on certain assumptions or imaginations. It is done basically with the help of what? With the help of a process, with the help of a logical rule. Okay. Then next we have is what? We have is cognitive strategy. So when I'm talking about cognitive strategy, cognitive, now see, here it is talking about strategy. It means based on your intellectual, based on your technique, based on your skills, you know how to go with the concept. Like for example, take an example, we are trying to do a mathematical problem. So everyone has a strategy to solve to solve the particular mathematical question or a quiz question or a puzzle. So that is, you use your intellectual skills with a strategy, and that is called as what? It is called as cognitive strategy. Then we have verbal information. It is basically refers to what? The knowledge that an individual acquires or that an individual get. And then we have next is your motor skills, wherein your motions, okay, with the help of your mind, your nervous system, your muscles work together. And the last one is attitude, that is the state of an individual, how the individual present himself, or with what amount of mental mindset or his own level, internal state you can talk about the individual. So this is what this basically the conceptual way. Now diagrammatically also you can keep in mind with the help of keywords. So intellectual skills, as I said, it is problem solving, the concepts, the principles, that is rule learning. So rule learning is basically happening with the help of what? It happens with the help of various concepts or various principles. Discriminations, that is distinguish between. Cognitive strategy, where we talk about what? Where we talk about the metacognition, where we talk about various strategies which involves thinking, learning, or it is talking about what? It is talking about problem solving. So when we use the term metacognition, it is simply thinking about one thinking, okay, how the person monitors his process, or how he plans, how he assess his own understanding based, and according to that he performs. So that is called as metacognition. Then verbal information, that is based on facts of knowledge which is acquired by an individual. Attitude, which is nothing but actions that a person choose to complete, his own state, internal state. And motor skills is nothing but behavioral physical skills, okay, use of the motions you can talk about. So that is a part of what? That is a part of your various types of learning. So is it, I hope this is very clear. So see, very specifically we are a little bit going slow, so that each and every topic which you are learning on daily basis, it will help you to go for a proper understanding and understand a concept, small concepts, but understand it in the best way. So today we have learned what? We started with our Bloom's taxonomy. We understood what is Bloom's taxonomy, divided it into various parts, commands, verbs. Then the old and the new concept of Bloom's taxonomy. Then we went ahead with our domains, various domains, that is divided 3 domains which we have: cognitive, affective and psychomotor. How these 3 domains are important part, that's what we have studied. We have analyzed them in detail also with the help of various levels. So under cognitive we have 6 levels, under affective we have 5 levels, again under psychomotor we have 5 levels. Then we understood what are the various types of learning which is given by Gagnes and Briggs. So that also we understood in detail with the help of keywords. Okay. So yes, that's all for the day. Tomorrow again we'll be coming up with a new concept on teaching aptitude. I hope side by side your notes are going on, and all those students who are starting with a new sessions preparation for the new cycle, just ensure that you are doing your level best with respect to your upcoming examination preparation. And from day one, if you are a little bit regular, it will help you easier to crack your examination for the next cycle. So yes, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone.